If you're a pharma distributor, you know some of the big challenges that you deal with. You've got an ERP product that's managing your day-to-day order flow, but if you don't have a complement to that that's helping to manage your sales outflow, helping you hit your targets, and helping you manage those things that the ERP doesn't do very well, then you're probably missing out on a lot of potential ROI and a lot of growth with your team, and maybe having some trouble with scaling. There are a handful of things that SupplyMover does that really helps level up your business if you're in pharma. Specifically, these are going to be things that we do that are niche things around the process of selling pharma products to your customers that your current ERP product does not handle in-house. See, in pharma specifically, when you're responsible to manage between 60, 80, or 100 calls a day, the products that you use to do your order management are usually not fitting the bill for that. And a traditional CRM is also missing the boat because it doesn't take into consideration those special licensing concerns, NDCs, and how the product type matches up to the customer, and any state-by-state variances that you might have. It also doesn't take into consideration the things like how pricing works for your customers. These are things we take into consideration by working directly with your ERP data, pulling that important information about each account, and then helping you gain access to being able to sell like you're working with an account to your leads without having to load those accounts into your ERP product. We know that you don't want to have your ERP all dirty with lead information. What you want to be able to do is pitch your leads as though they're a customer with specific pricing that's most in line with what their expectations are, with the specific product mixes that they should have access to. When you can create a quote and you can actually email that quote right to the customer and then follow up with that customer based on what you quoted them and based on the products that they were interested in, we find that is a really, really great way of being able to handle this. And traditional CRMs just really fall down on this job. We have a distribution-focused CRM that takes into consideration the B2B sales activities that you have with your customer, but even more so ties in NDC-specific product data, state board and DEA licensing at the customer level, and it does all the right matchmaking so that you can offer the exact product mix to each of your customers as though you wanted to. We also manage the day-to-day activities of the sales team in Pharma really, really well, take into consideration based on how many calls that they're going to make. When a sales rep in pharma is calling their leads and calling their customers throughout the day, one of the biggest challenges is keeping track of who have they called and gone back through and double check that everything is processed for the day. All those orders are going out because we all know that order needs to get to that account typically next day, or you might potentially lose that business on the next call. So it's really important that throughout the day, as those orders are coming in, we can build up a variety of different carts with those customers, and then we can go back at the end of the day and make sure that those carts are getting processed through. One of the big challenges that we see with traditional ERPs is that you have to have an existing order going, and it's very difficult to manage which orders are open why, and which customers have I already called for the day, who did I spend my time with, who do I still need to spend my time with, what are those accounts that haven't ordered from me in a while, maybe they dropped off my schedule or off my radar and I need to follow up with them to make sure I'm going to get that business. Another big thing we see is just managing that rotation of calls. Where my best call is going to happen on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so I know, am I getting all of those accounts in? And what about when you're managing your time off? Is there an alternate rep set up to take those accounts? Do you have a way to even handle getting access to that account, making sure that those orders are going to get fulfilled? What happens when that rep gets back from vacation? What does their schedule look like? Is it a giant mess and they don't know where to start? Another big problem that our software solves is the ability for leadership to know how the team is performing and for all the team members to know how they're performing throughout the day, live in real time. And these are things that are typically not available except through week-end reports or month-end reports, and a lot of that is too late for the sales team to be able to take action and activity on that to make a real difference. When you're selling pharmaceuticals in a business-to-business methodology, you've got to be able to also support e-commerce and all of its ins and outs. You might have accounts that are chains that are set up on specialized pricing. You might want your customers to be able to make payments in certain types of ways, whether it be on account, with terms, whether it be with credit card, and you want account by account and state by state rules. And a lot of that is really difficult to implement with your traditional ERP products. That's where we come in. We extend that ERP functionality. We link with all of the popular ERPs within the pharma distribution space, and we bring all of this new tool set and functionality to your team. Foley gives your sales team a perfect tool to be able to use for this process. Foley gives your customer a perfect tool to use for this process. In fact, your customers probably know our system well. It's one of the best and tried and true models for e-commerce in distribution. Our customers love it. their customers love it. In this past 24 months, we've also been rolling out a lot of new features specifically with AI and email and one-on-one connection with the customer. It's great to be able to provide people reorder recommendations and product recommendations based on the book of business that you're doing with customers and with groups of customers, so that you can build lookalike audiences and put the right offers in the right email inboxes and give one-on-one attention to your customers. It gives you a great compliment, so you've got your branding and awareness out there, and you've got your sales reps following up to get those orders at the right times. If you're not satisfied where you are right now in your pharma distribution business and you want to look for some new options, simply reach out below. Our team would love to help you. We want to be a part of your growth journey.